Arise and touch the nations. Arise and change the nations. You will rise. You will rise.
Shalom, shalom, dear light fires. Welcome back. This is Rian. I would like to ask you a question. What if the reason you feel stuck is because you're still carrying an old identity that no longer fits you? Well, today's message is quite simple. Growth demands a new identity. For something new to happen, the old usually has to go, be denied, or be destroyed. See it as retrieving or receiving a new passport. When you get a new passport or identity card, the government destroys the old one or places holes in it, making it invalid to be used. Well, the same happens when we grow older. When we are young, a lot of things are approved or accepted. Things we say can seem funny when we're young, but not when we grow older. Because once we grow older, we can no longer behave or act in the same way. A new identity requires change. If you have lived as the reflection of other people's desires, you need to learn how to live as the source of your own light. And if you've always shrunk yourself in order to belong or soften your presence so others feel comfortable, you'll need to stop pleasing people. Staying true to yourself costs some connections, but it's a personal security that reduces the risk of losing your individual assets. Think of your properties, commitments, desires, and even goals. When you're not validated, you have to learn to validate yourself. And when you're not chosen, learn to choose yourself. And when people don't like you, then learn to like yourself. Set boundaries as bridges that teach others to treat you with a certain type of respect. From now on, celebrate every step. You know, sometimes the clapping doesn't start with everyone applauding. Sometimes it just starts with one person before the crowd joins in. So be the one that cheers you on and cheers you up until the crowd has no choice but to join you. Your truth and new identity will be too much for some, confusing to others, and threatening to those who benefited from misleading you. But don't apologize for choosing your well-being over someone else's expectations. Be whole enough to be loved by the right ones. And most of all, be grown enough to recreate and rebuild your fundamentals, your sense of self, your values, and your behaviors to achieve the desired outcomes you want to accomplish in life. Today we're going to reflect on 1 Peter 5, verse 10. After you have suffered for a little while, the God of all grace, who imparts his blessing and favor, who called you to his own eternal glory in Christ, will himself complete, confirm, strengthen, and establish you, making you what you ought to be. Sometimes the suffering is not in enduring pain. The suffering is not always in hurting. The suffering isn't always in going through trials. Sometimes the suffering is you denying yourself from being who you truly are in order to be accepted by others. And this type of suffering is way worse than the hurt other people can cause you. So that's the wonderful thing of God. In whatever way you have suffered, maybe it was because of others or it was because of yourself, He is now going to transform you in who you truly are and who you are meant to be. And that can look way different than the person you are today. And that can look different from the things you're doing today. But once you embrace it and once you accept his way, he can surprise you. He can surprise you in a way you have never expected. Thank you so much for listening. For now, I say be blessed. Shalom and shine alive.